When the mouse is running the PACS profile, the light on it is a deep Duke blue. When you change over to Terra Recon, it turns into a light Terra Recon blue, and that's how you know which profile you're on. And as soon as you flip back to PACS, it goes back to the Duke blue. The first function to learn is pressing straight down on the middle mouse button is F2, which brings the study over to PowerScribe to be read. The second tool to learn is the new M click. So instead of hitting straight down on the middle mouse button, now you're using your thumb to do M click. So for plain film, I have a magnifying glass, but again in PACS it's basically whatever you set it to, so you can set it to any tool you want, and that's fine. Like I said, I have mine set to the magnifying glass for plain film. Right. So then the next tool you have is the measurement tool. That's this front button right here next to the left click, and basically when you push down on it, it engages the ruler, and then when you let go, it disengages. So you can go ahead and measure things whatever you want. The nice thing about it is normally the mouse is going fast, and then when you engage it, it slows your mouse down, and then it goes fast again. So you can make very fine measurement between two different, between small structures. When you let go of this key, it defaults down to the ROI circle. And again, this is a measurement tool. It's for when you're doing CT and you want to, the average hound field unit in a certain area. So they're both on the same button. So, if you want to measure distance, you just press on it. And then if you just want an ROI, you can just click it and let go, and then you'll get your ROI, which is controlled by the left click. The next tool is the button right behind the measurement tool. That's your arrow tool, and that's for dropping arrows. You just push down on it, and you can drop an arrow fairly easily. Good for pointing out findings to the ER. When you let go of it, it defaults to the selector tool, so you can choose your arrow and move it if it wasn't exactly where you wanted it to be, or you can grab a bunch of them and delete them. And I just figured, if you have one tool for the arrow, the next one, when it defaults back, it's the actual arrow cursor, and it's easy to remember. The next tool is the scroll wheel left click. You're basically clicking the scroll wheel to the left. I do kind of a claw motion or a pinching motion to engage it, and what it does is it engages the ROI windowing tool, and the nice thing about it is it immediately erases that stupid box that everybody hates, and then when you're kind of in the neighborhood of where you want to be, it defaults to the normal windowing tool, which you engage with the left click, and you just kind of get it closer to where you want it to be. So you pinch to do the ROI box, and then when you let go, it's the normal windowing tool. The next tool is the right scroll wheel click. The way I do it is I kind of take my index finger and kind of move it to the right to engage it. And what that does is it is the zoom. So you just kind of, while it's engaged, you move the mouse up and down and it zooms your picture. And then it defaults to the pan tool, which you use with the left mouse click. So you can scroll in and you can zoom where you want to go, and then zoom out and pan the image wherever you need it to be. The last two tools are these two thumb buttons above the big thumb button that you're using as your middle tool, or your middle click. These two are basically mapped to the up and down keys on your keyboard, but they're useful when you're on cross-sectional imaging or ultrasound to go between series. And so basically you read a series and then you go to the next one, go to the next one, right. And so it's just a way to skip around amongst series very quickly, without having to take your hand off of the mouse. finally, I want to show the scroll lock. So normally the mouse is basically going screen by image by image, and then you'll hear a clicking if you try to do it quickly. You can take the scroll lock off, and then the wheel will free spin and give you kind of smooth scrolling. It's very easy to stop, but it's very touchy. It's hard to stay on one image, and so there's reasons to put the lock on and take it off. Right behind that is the reset tool, and so let's say you messed up the windowing of your study, and then you put all sorts of measurements over it and ROIs, and you don't like the way it looks because there's just way too many arrows. You can just hit that reset button and everything goes to the last saved version of the study. So reset tool, break.